So then moving to item 18, the Chief Executive's report for June 2017. Are there any questions for the Chief Executive on her report?
Can I just highlight a couple of things?
Yep, certainly.
Okay,
yep.
So just to following up from last month's report and this month, we've established a centre of excellence within the organisation around policy development and as a policy hub, and also the benchmarking in terms of reviewing our published policies and strategies was actually to get a baseline, which actually was quite good. But really the focus is on making sure that we give you good policy advice so that you can make safe, informed and robust decisions. So there's training throughout the organisation, there's expertise being developed so that we ensure that we do that. We've also, as part of the new year, set our priorities for the organisation that you'll see on the page 1 around delivering excellence, citizen-centric, value for money, robust and informed decision-making, enabling delivery, and leaders of people and ideas. And that's cascaded now into everybody's, will be personal development and performance plans, so they'll contribute to that. And the third area is really around the contact centre upgrade. So we have something like 50,000 contacts through that per month. And they've done an extraordinary job of actually exceeding their targets in terms of meeting the customer service needs. But there's an upgrade in terms of the technology to actually help that business intelligence and to be able to make that improve that in an ongoing way as well. So actually making it easier for people to contact and get the results that they need.
Great, thank you. So if we now move to questions, Glenn.
Thank you, Kelly. My question's on the wheelie bins, page 102. I note there are 2,337 removed from circulation. My question is there anything preventing us from looking at an options report over how to put those back in on a discretionary user basis for ratepayers? They've already been paid for, so I'm not envisaging that people need to pay for them again. But there are people who, from time to time, do need extra.
So that some people might have 2 bins. Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, on a needs basis, yes.
Yeah, so they're removed for a whole variety of reasons. Some because they're damaged, some because they're duplicated, some because there's no longer, a property there. We could look at that.
The ones that are removed are ones that aren't being paid for, and so we're actually paying to pick them up, but we're not getting any rates for them, and so certainly they will be reused where people actually have got the right bin in the right place. So it's really like a massive audit on it, which will deliver, I think, my understanding, we're about 29% through the program. It's a 3-year program, so we're third. So those bins will go back to a legitimate, either back to their legitimate property, which we can do, or it'll go back into circulation for someone else who requests the next bin or the growth.
But you're suggesting another option where people might
and I am aware I know it's problematic and I'm aware of the contractual obligations, but I just wonder whether we could explore some options in certain circumstances. We know we don't want a kind of laissez-faire thing, but we do want some kind of, I think it'd be good to look at some options for people that... I know, and that's part of the problem. So
okay.
Well, it's either your committee or mine actually, because you're the ITI chair. So
yeah, I think there's a good idea in terms of the committees might discuss it and whether there's something to be followed up
with
on.
Pauline's. Yeah. Do we need a note or resolution?
No, I think if the committee has a discussion about is this a priority and what you'd like to do.
It can be picked up that way. Yeah, great. So I've got Dave and then Yani. Dave.
Just a couple of points, one on the wheelie bins again. Just a clarification, I think Dave might have answered part of it, but I was going to ask about how long it's going to take. And are we doing these tagging in area by area, or is it sort of a random
I'm making this area by area.
Well, John Mackey here, so he can give you the detail, but yes, it is by area as far as I know. John, I'm not sure whether you want to add anything more to the program 1 year through, or?
Yeah, we year through, that is by year.
Thank you. And the second question was under the wastewater treatment plant, and just on the midge issue in the coastal ward, and I note there that current complaints have ceased with the colder winter, but are we progressing with measures to come forward this summer, and can we have some sort of an ongoing status report on where we're going with that issue?
I think an ongoing report would be useful. It's certainly not something that's disappeared altogether, but there's substantial work underway, as you know, in terms of how to address this. But I think we can update on what that work is and what the approach for next summer will be as well.
Yeah, that'd be great, because the last thing we really want to do is sort of have a continuation of what we've had for the last couple of years.
Thank you. Yani?
Just on the wheelie bin one, I do think it would be good to formalise that with a resolution, and I had a similar question to Glenn. I put forward a proposal that community groups that do community cleanups, for example, might have access to bins, but obviously there's details and contractual things that need to be worked through. But it does seem to me that we talk about encouraging communities to do more in local areas, but it's often been a struggle to get the support in terms of things like rubbish collection. So I just wonder whether we can formalise that and ask the ITI committee to, or the Innovation and Sustainable Committee, to look at options for those bins.
So it would be a resolution to refer what is it that you want to refer to a committee?
So, like, basically the whole idea of empowering people who are cleaning up the city. There's people that will, look after berms that are a lot more than theirs, and there's people that look after parks. And actually, if we could have a system of allocating some additional bins for them for cleanups, it might be a really cost-effective way of doing it.
I don't think you even need a committee report, do you?
No. So, but I think it's a little unclear about the scope of what you want and the different parts of it. So I think it's worth a committee just thinking about what is it that you actually want, right. And is it just about cleanups, or is it broader than that? And then that can come to staff.
Yeah, I think it would be...
Because we get these unclear resolutions, and then we don't deliver what you ask for.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So, if you think of the gold crate thing that we had a few years ago, things that encourage people to contribute to the city, active citizens, as we like to call them, I think we should be doing that. So you just want to leave it, and someone will follow up with whatever committee.
Well, I think given that we've just heard from the chief executive that the committee can have whichever the appropriate committee is, and I imagine it would be ITI, but there may be some thinking would go into that as well, can have a discussion about how they best wish to proceed. Staff can then do some work, and it can be picked up through the committee's work programme.
Yeah.
All of that can be done without a resolution.
What Yani seems to be talking about is how can we help you do more things in the community, basically.
Which is
and rubbish bins or wheelie bins as a means of collecting might be one thing.
Yeah, or like a green bin. So there's, for example, there's someone that mows a berm that it basically is 5 times as big as the normal berm, and goes around a corner, or it's a vacant section, but they do it, but then they don't have enough space in their green bin. Previously, they've asked council, can I have an additional green bin? No, you can't. Or you have to pay $300 a year. Actually, we might have a system with the additional bins to just make that really easy for someone.
Or if they just want to get clean up.
A school.
Anyway.
So we can pick that up without the need for a resolution. We can be confident that's going to happen.
I think there needs to be a bigger discussion about what it is that you're actually asking for, because there are costs to these things, there are other practical things, and is it about, you say, active citizenship or pride in your community, those sort of things, then that's a different approach to, is it about, being able to provide at a reduced price or free additional bins for, say, households, which was the first comment. So I think there needs to be just a bit of discussion to clarify what it is that you're asking for, and developing policy on the hoof like this is probably not a good way of doing that.
Yeah, I think mine was at a residential level. For instance, Yani's more talking about a kind of social group service level, so that's a
and so we're happy
similar
to look at
but
those,
different.
but I think just let's be clear about what it is that you want, and I don't think we should do that right here.
Yeah, all right, I'm certainly happy to take that advice. That's fine. Dion?
We're just working on the same sort of thing with a school in the city as well, so I think actually it would be really good to actually have that discussion around that policy. So I mean, maybe we'd can get that out of a resolution, potentially.
Start at committee level though, is it to start that then come to councils and maybe an informal or something?
I mean, is there something we can do to just start that process from this meeting at all?
Well, I think that's what we've just done. I think that's exactly the conversation we've just had. I'm confident that we can progress it on the basis of the discussion that we've had this afternoon. Pauline? Oh, right, okay. Any further questions on Carlene's report? All right, in which case I'm happy to move that we receive the report. Tim's happy to second. All those in favour? Against? That's carried.